What's going on, bottom line viewers? It's Mitch here. Mr. Big Chest is heading to the Buffalo Bills. He's going over there. He's climbing up, and he's jumping right through that table like Macho Man Randy Savage. Bro, the Bills fans are probably going nuts right now. I think there's a few Bills fans out there that are probably like jumping through tables at their house. I think they're probably setting it up in the parking lot right now or something. Dilly is in his closet because he has no lights, so he looks like he's sitting in the dark. But we're here to discuss the AB trade. Antonio Brown has been traded to the Buffalo Bills. It's very exciting. We have lots to discuss. So I hope you guys are here to stay with us for a little bit because we're going to discuss all the details. We don't even really know what the trade is about yet. Like, we don't know. I'm going to keep checking my phone. If you guys have Twitter updates, if you guys have updates on your phone, I should get it really quick because I'm like subscribed and like following like Adam Schefter and Rap Sheet and all those guys like right away. So I should get it right away as soon as it comes out. But we don't know what it's for yet. I'm assuming it might be the 9th overall pick. It could be less than that. I think Steelers fans are also excited because Antonio Brown is going to pretty much a place where nobody has succeeded in the NFL for quite some time. So, especially offensively. I mean, the Bills are pretty much a place that they've taken over for the Browns. They've been a team that have consistently, I know they made the playoffs just like last year, but they've been not necessarily a terrible team, but more like a terrible franchise. They've had some okay teams, but they haven't really had a lot of great talents and offensive players, especially receivers that have gone out there and really produced. So I think a lot of Steelers fans are kind of sitting there like, okay, we're loving this because now he's going to Buffalo. And Dylan, what does this say about the Steelers and how much they absolutely despise Antonio Brown at this point, that they're going to send him to the Buffalo Bills in the same division as the New England Patriots?
Well, first off, I'm hearing a lot of comments saying that this is fake. Apparently, AB replied that this isn't real.
He did say that. He actually did say that.
So I don't know how that makes sense.
I have to believe it's real for now because Rap Sheet reported it. So if it's fake, bro. We're here. We're here in case it's real. I'm just saying we're here in case it's real. Yeah, we'll see.
See, NFL was tweeting it out. A lot of big sources were tweeting it out, not Shefty himself, but a lot of big, Twitters and all that stuff were tweeting it out. So we got to go as if it's real right now. And if anything changes here in the next couple minutes, we'll let you know. What we can say for sure is your comment about the Steelers and how this makes them look like complete fools. This franchise has been in such ruins for years that it really just doesn't hit the surface. You don't think like, oh, they made the playoffs. They were still doing well. AFC Championship game appearances, all this stuff. But you look at the last season, you look at how dysfunctional this whole team was, led by the dictator himself.
The drama queen
himself, Big Ben. And all the stuff that was surfacing around him, AB being a big part of that, and decided not even to play for the last game of the year, where they had a chance to get to the playoffs, guys. A chance to go to the playoffs. Juju was excited, but he didn't want to be there, so AB did not participate. And it kind of just shows what the Steelers have been running like for years. It just is now on a bigger surface this year than it was in the last couple of years. Us on the channel, we've been thinking about it for 2 or 3 years. Like, this isn't really working. But this past year, I think everybody saw the dysfunction that everybody had. And it shows why the Steelers are not only not playoff contenders or Super Bowl contenders, they're not playoff contenders. They're not going to do anything going forward. And they decided they hated this guy so much, this very talented receiver who, when he plays, is a top 3, even maybe number 1 receiver in the game, and say, nah, we got to let you go, buddy. We got to let you go.
And let's face it, Antonio Brown is a Steelers legend. There's no way around it.
Absolutely.
Eventually, one day in the future, they're going to have an Antonio Brown Ring of Honor, Antonio Brown jersey, potentially retirement, something of that regard. Antonio Brown is, in my opinion, the greatest receiver that's ever played for that franchise. I know there's Lynn Swann, Stallworth. I consider him a top 10 receiver of all time. I think he's really up there. And for him now, he's not really in his prime, but he's kind of at like the back half of his prime. Look, this guy led the NFL in touchdowns last year. He had 15 touchdowns last year. He's still a very talented receiver. He's still a guy that demands double teams. He's not necessarily the greatest deep threat, deep receiver in the league, but he's such a fantastic route runner. He's so difficult to stop, and you need to always commit a defense to where he is every time where he is on the field. I think this is great for Josh Allen. If Antonio Brown's going to come in there with a positive attitude, I would suppose that Antonio Brown eventually will be okay with this. Eventually, I would hope. And eventually, hopefully, they can make him, again, I'm saying eventually, hopefully, they can make him buy into the system and what Buffalo has. We do know that Buffalo has a young quarterback who I know I really like, and Dylan has kind of gotten a little bit better on. I think he likes him a little bit more now. Yeah, he's got a freaking cannon. You can't ignore that.
No.
And they needed somebody for him to throw the ball to. Someone.
Yeah. He couldn't go to a place like Arizona where they're just going to be like, well, you know, what are we going to do? Or some low team, Oakland, I guess is probably the biggest example. He actually, by the way, that comment was from on NFL's Instagram. He replied at fake news as the caption, has 23,000 likes in 16 minutes. So everybody's getting on this AB action. You know, I think if this is official, like everybody's saying, I think this is a great proposal from the Bills. Like the Bills' perspective, I don't think they're losing much on him. What is he? 31 years old, I believe. Is that his correct age?
I'm actually going to look that up, but I believe he's 30 or 31.
Okay, so he's in what is to be considered the back half, probably prime of his career. He's in a really good stretch. Just like 2 seasons ago, he's leading the league in second place all time.
He's 30, but he'll be 31 by the season start.
Okay. And the thing is that this is very early. Obviously, this is in March. He's going to have a lot of time to be with these Bill players. It's not like a trade deadline situation where you're very rushed into the situation. You're going to know these guys for a long time. You're going to have this cohesiveness, at least in training camp and then getting into preseason and all that kind of things. I don't know how exactly happy AB is to go from a team that was still contending somewhat in the playoffs to the Bills, who, you know, just made the playoffs for the first time a couple years ago in 17 years before that.
Dylan, I think the main issue with Antonio Brown has been Big Ben. I think they just don't get along, and I think that's kind of spiraled out of control. We've heard that it first started that game with the Broncos. From Antonio Brown's perspective, He was on the LeBron James's show. It's not popping into my mind. I think it's called The Shop.
The Shop, yeah.
And he said on there that Big Ben blamed him for that interception for not running a great enough route, even though he threw the ball right to a defensive lineman. I think the story that nobody is telling right now is how much of a blame that people should be putting on Big Ben for this whole situation. Nobody's talking about Big Ben. Everybody's just looking at Antonio Brown's blonde mustache and they're saying this guy's a joke, this guy is a fool, and he's not doing anything to really make them get off of him. He's not really doing anything to do him any favors. No. But I don't think it's all him. And I've been a guy that, Dylan, as you know this, even before he really became that issue, I was always the guy saying, hey, we're all talking about Odell or whatever, but look at Antonio Brown. This guy's a problem and nobody really talks about it. But at the same time, I'm still here saying Antonio Brown may not be as big of an issue as we're all believing him to be.
I think it's a mixed bag of what you're saying, because again, Big Ben, what he does, he doesn't go in front of people or on in the media. He'll go on his radio show and blame his guys. He has his own little deal where he does that thing. I think the thing for AB that really got under my skin is when he did that interview a couple weeks ago, and he's like, I don't need football. I like football. I like being there for football, but I don't need football. That kind of irked me the wrong way. I know he's in this.
But I know what he's saying. He doesn't need to play. He's got the money. He's got everything in his life. He doesn't need to play.
What's the point? Why? If he's mad about Big Ben or whatever, I'm cool with that. Whatever. But that just doesn't help any. If you're in the NFL,
no, that's what I'm saying. He hasn't helped his cause. But then at the same time, you're saying about Big Ben, he goes on his radio show. I think what's happened here is Big Ben has so much power Like think about all the media members that he has at his grasp, the owners. What was that quote that they gave? Basically it's a bunch of kids and Big Ben.
It's Big Ben and his 52 kids with him. Like what kind of comment is that? That's ridiculous.
I'm saying, okay, looking at it from a football perspective now, skipping past that ridiculousness. Of course, we talked about Josh Allen. I think he gets a legitimate wide receiver. He gets a legitimate top 5 receiver in the NFL, and it's going to be nice to see what they can do with him from an offensive perspective. The Bills already have a very talented defense that they could potentially add to as well. It's very underrated. Last season, we saw that, kept them in a lot of games. And when Allen was able to make some plays when he was on the field, they were able to win some games last year in kind of on a team that necessarily we all looked at like this team's not very good. They shouldn't be winning these games, but they did win those games. And now with a guy like Brown, I think it's just that weapon, that centerpiece. I always talk about this, like, you need a centerpiece on the offensive side of the ball. You need a guy that is going to demand attention from the opposing team, whether that's a receiver, a tight end, or running back. You need a weapon that's outside of the quarterback that's going to demand that attention. Antonio Brown can be that guy for this offense and can help open up an older Shady McCoy in the run game, can help open up Zay Jones. I think everybody, if Antonio Brown is there, if Antonio Brown is motivated, if Antonio Brown is playing, granted, it's going to make McCoy better. It's going to make Allen better. It's going to make Jones better and whoever else they bring in there, because that's just the way it is. Now, the Bills still need to get offensive linemen. They really need to. They probably could add to their defense a little bit, but looking at the Bills, it's not unrealistic to say that they could be in the wild card hunt. I don't think that's unrealistic if Josh Allen can take a step.
Yeah, I think there's definitely some room for that. We talked about a lot last year after, constantly shitting on all the mediocre / really bad quarterbacks they had in the background, that they actually had a pretty good defense. I would say somewhere between 10 and 12, that kind of category. They were really stepping up their game, and it's a lot of young guys. This is a thing that I think I'm most excited about if I'm a Bills fan, is a lot of this talent that you're coming in are just maturing and just getting into their style of play. Guys that are barely 25 years old and that kind of thing. And then you look at the offensive side, the receiver game was pretty bad last year. Kelvin Benjamin was still on this team. He couldn't get separation worth a damn. So getting a guy like AB is going to help them focus on this receiver game. Like you said, open up these other guys. If something's happening where they know AB is going to be a huge problem, they're going to double team him and be like, all right, here goes Zay Jones, or even a guy like Charles Clay as a tight end could get more catches.
He got released, actually.
Well, that's more depressing. All right, well, let's not talk about that.
Well, because he can't catch the ball at the back of the end zone. That's the problem. But true. I do want to I want to flip it to the Steelers side. There was a stat that a lot of people have been bringing up, and I think this is a very good thing to think about. We've all been, you and I both were very, what's the word? We were giving praise to Juju. Juju had an excellent season last year, but there is a statistic to throw out there. Antonio Brown was double teamed on 8% of his snaps. Juju Smith-Schuster was double teamed on 0.8% of his snaps. So now that Antonio Brown is not there, I think that the Steelers instantly have a need at a position that was probably their best position on their team.
Yeah.
So they lose what's their greatest strength to going to a position of need. I know they drafted James Washington. I'm not exactly sold on that guy. Juju is great. I think he's a number 1 receiver, but now Juju is going to be double teamed. Now teams are going to put their best corner on him. And now now it's not going to be JC Jackson covering him. It's going to be Stephon Gilmore covering him. So it's like it's gonna change in that regard. What do you think about the Steelers' offense? What do you think they need to do here? Do you think they need to bring in another receiver? And how do you think it's going to look?
I actually like James Washington a little bit more than you do. I liked what I saw out of Oklahoma State from him. The biggest thing for me is that he didn't have a whole lot of time last year. They were not focused on using him as much as I wanted them to. So I think in year 2, they're going to use him quite a bit more. He's probably going to be their second, or if they get a guy, third option. So I do like him. Their tight end situation's fine. I really do think they need to get another guy, because like you said, Juju is going to be stepping into a territory that he doesn't quite know yet. Again, very talented, but when you step into that situation almost like out of nowhere, it's going to be a very rough transition for him. So I think somebody on the free agent market. The thing is, there's not a whole lot of great receivers on the free agent market.
No, there's not.
They're
probably going to have to draft one.
Yeah, they're probably going to have to spend that pick. I don't know who they think.
Maybe like a second round pick. I could see them spending on a receiver.
Yeah, because they got Juju in the 3rd round when they drafted him a couple years ago. So
this is a pretty deep draft for the receivers. I know everybody's kind of looking at DK Metcalf for his ridiculous body.
I don't know. I don't think they'll get him. I think he'll go.
No, he's definitely going in the top, at least the top 15. I'm being conservative saying that.
I was going to say 15 at least.
Yeah.
I feel like they'll go get somebody in the 2nd round again. I have to look. We're going to do a lot more draft stuff the next couple weeks, so we'll know all these guys. But I think what they're going to have to do is draft, because you look at that free agency, it's like Golden Tate's probably the biggest receiver you can get out there right now, and it's like
there's like Tyrell Williams.
He's another deep threat, but that's just like James Washington. I mean,
yeah, it's very similar. I can't really think off the top of my head, to be honest. Cole Beasley is there. Adam Humphries. I would say Adam Humphries is a good one, but he's probably going to be a little bit overpaid.
I think so. If I was the Steelers, I'd get him for depth. It's not going to replace that 2nd role. You know what I mean?
You're not going to have AB and Juju.
No, I'm not.
That's going to be, unless you draft somebody like Antonio Brown. Good luck.
No, I'm saying I'd rather draft somebody, and then if I was allowed to, I don't know what Adam Humphries is asking for. I don't know what his contract situation is, but I'd like to get him for depth. He would definitely help out, and even be a 3 if they think James Washington's not ready.
And then you got to think Le'Veon Bell's not going to be there. So what? Big Ben, time to answer the call, bro. Time to answer the call, Big Ben.
Answer the call. He's going to answer the calls on his podcast or his radio station. That's all he's going to do. He's not going to do anything on the field. My thing with the Steelers is that when you get rid of the top guys, then you'll see change. All you're going to see right now is just continue to spiral into chaos, and they're never going to fix their issues until the two-headed beast that is Mike Tomlin and Big Ben go away. And Big Ben is just going to blame his new guys. Because, again, remember when Mason Rudolph was the backup quarterback and they asked him if he was going to help them train for his job, he's like, no, I'm not going to help this guy. He's my backup. He's my competition. He's on your team. You're like 35. Like, come on, bro. I don't want his personality.
Dylan, get to the comments. Let's get it in.
The comment section.
I still haven't heard what it's for.
Yeah, no, I haven't gotten any tweets. I've got Shefty on whatchamacallit.
I saw Daniel Jeremiah tweeted that it could be for a future first. I've also seen tweets that it's probably for the 41st pick. I haven't really seen anyone say it's for the 9th pick.
Yeah, I don't think it would be for the 9th pick. I feel like it could be either like you said, a future first round or a 2nd round this year. Nunya is in the chat. I think she is a Bills fan because she says, "Let's go." Those are very rare, you know what I'm saying? But Sebastian Ortiz, he's in there.
You know what? I'm a Patriots fan, and I'm excited to watch the Bills.
Because you're gonna see if Stephon Gilmore can back up his talk twice a year.
Oh yeah, Stephon Gilmore instantly had that. But you know, it's gonna be good. We're gonna see that twice a year. It's gonna be fun.
That was quick.
Also, Juju Smith-Schuster, I just want to throw this point in there. He's been a slot receiver a lot of the time. So does this mean that he's going to play a little bit more on the outside? Or do they kind of just keep him in the familiar, where he's familiar in the offense? I think that's another question to ask out there. Continue with the chat.
Sebastian says he's shocked, as we got a comment from AC saying he doesn't think this trade is real. I don't know. Rob says, welcome to the hot seat, Sean McDermott. That's an interesting take on this.
He's done pretty well.
I think he's done well. I don't think he's going to get in there.
He went to the playoffs, for gosh sake, with that team.
They were bad. They were real bad. They shouldn't have got in there, but regardless, he made it. Let's see here. Jello says, I was asleep, but my whole family woke me up because we got AB. So he's a Bills fan. So there you go. If this is real, if it is real.
Why are we still saying that? Isn't it real?
I don't know. I haven't. There hasn't been any details. AB still saying fake news. I don't know. He hasn't gone on Twitter.
What is AB like trying to? You know what what's trying to happen right now. AB's probably saying, no, I'm not fucking playing there. And he's probably like, trade me somewhere else. Like Bills, trade me somewhere
a double
else.
trade. Oh God, that would.
You know what I actually thought was a chance to happen? I know this is just because I'm a Patriots fan. Okay. I thought the Steelers were gonna trade him to like Arizona, and then Arizona was gonna like trade him to New England or like Cleveland.
Because you damn well
like somewhere that because the Steelers said like they wouldn't
trade for any
trade it to New England, Cleveland, or Baltimore, I think.
Yeah.
And like because New England and Cleveland are two teams that would have made a lot of sense just for a straight up trade perspective. So like if there was going to be a double trade, I thought that there was a chance for that to happen for either team. But OBJ news is kind of coming out about the Browns, which that's a totally different topic.
Yeah, we'll get to that if there's any hope there. By the way, that sounds like super tampering to me. Like, here we go. You're trading into this one team. You could send him wherever he goes. And then it'll be like Carmelo Anthony. Here's New Jersey. Oh no, we're taking it away. Let's see. Okay, Rob says factor fiction. Josh Rosen gets traded to the Redskins. Fiction. They just got
fiction now. Yeah,
I don't see how that's gonna happen. They'll draft probably a quarterback, but let's see. Oh, Bodo just sent in $10 for his. Let's look at his comment. He just sent this in. Well, we keep Ben and Tomlin and lose Brown and be epic fail Roonies. Maybe the Roonies need to sell the team. He's very vocal about not liking people.
The Roonies are fine. They're right now. I mean, since what's going on with Mr. I just need to get me some Robert Kraft. I mean, they're one of the best owners in the NFL. They've always been considered. The Rooney family has always been considered, in the top owners in the entire league. I think every coach would want to have them as an owner. That the Rooneys aren't the issue. I think the issue is Tomlin. And I've always said the issue is Tomlin because he lets his players away with too much, which then goes to Ben, which then goes to Brown, which goes to Bell, which goes to Juju, which goes to everybody else.
Just like the Lakers. Leadership goes a long way, guys.
Don't even talk about that.
Luke Walton, the guy, you know what I'm saying? NFL Twitter tweeted it. He's in denial, says Alex. Azid says, imagine if he gets traded to a team like the Redskins instead of the Bills right now, because if we don't know if this is true, that would be interesting.
Adam, I'm pretty sure they got Mr. Big Chest, bro. I don't know 100% yet, but I'm pretty sure. As Dilly is freezing up there. But yeah, Mr. Big Chest is probably one of the most ridiculous nicknames in the entire history of the NFL. I think that name is just amazing. And I've been recently writing down like my top 100 for this upcoming season and sending it to Dylan and continuously calling him Mr. Big Chest. So I think when the top 100 comes out, I'm not going to refer to him as Antonio Brown. I'm just going to refer to him as Mr. Big Chest. I don't know where Dylan is. I think he cut out, but I'm going to continue here. So continuing, Coach Tim, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, guys. I just need to say this because I know this is a live reaction for Antonio Brown trade, but guys, this has been a absolutely incredible 2-week stretch that this channel is on right now. This channel has grown significantly in the past 2 weeks. We have I have my most viewed video outside of a tribute video to Paul Walker. I just want to say thank you. Honestly, incredible. All these new subscribers. I really appreciate it. The Tom Brady videos going over well. The free agency videos are doing well. I hope this is the step that we need to take as a channel going forward to really, really get somewhere because we've been working really hard, as you can see with all these videos we've made, Dylan. And I'm just thanking the fans out there for the incredible support we've had over the past 2 weeks. It's been absolutely insane. Probably our best stretch in a while. And we already have our second most viewed video. So it's been insane.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. I've been putting all the totals in our little thing. It's been going daily. It's just nice to see it every seeing that total grow so quickly. It's fantastic. We appreciate it. We're so close to 7,500. That's the new little benchmark, if you will.
Bro, you're throwing
Sorry,
me off. Where are you? What the hell are you doing?
Bro, my computer died. Okay, so now I'm on the phone and it's about to die. So we're in very drastic territory.
Are you cleaning out the closet there?
But
what are you doing?
It looks great. I got a set of golf clubs 3 inches away from my face, so that's great too. But yeah, no, we appreciate it. We're dedicated to get this stuff out, and we're very fortunate for all that stuff. Like you said, that free agent video blew the hell up. I was looking at it, I'm like, damn, it's already second most popular viewed on the channel, so that's good shit.
All right, where were we on these comments? I'm gonna pick us up where we were.
Last comment that I saw was well, no, I can't. It wasn't the Rooney comment because that was at the bottom.
Sebastian said Josh Allen. I'll just go. Josh Allen finally has a receiver to throw to. A lot of people are asking if it's real. Jay is saying, hello, it's pick 41 and a player. I don't have the name yet. Working on it. Not fake. My source won't give the name. I don't know, bro. I can't trust a random guy named Jay in my comment section. If you actually, DM me or something, I would trust you. But like a guy named Jay in my comments, I'm not really going to trust you there. I'm sorry, bro. What else we got? OMG Bills. I mean, you know what? I said it earlier, man. I'm happy for the Bills. They might be in my team's division, but man, the Bills have been so god darn awful. Like, I have watched so many games of the Bills. Like, I watch the Bills a lot. I watch football a lot in general, Dylan, of course. But the Bills I've watched a lot. For some weird reason, even though they suck, they've always intrigued me as a team. They have a great fan base. I've been to games in Buffalo. Just an incredible fan base. These guys are freaking crazy. They jump through tables. I think I saw one was flaming. They go to the games in freezing cold weather, man. They wear their pajamas, bro. They wear their freaking pajamas to the game, bro.
It's inspirational.
I'm sitting there, I'm freezing my ass off, and they have pajamas on, bro.
Bro, it's all about commitment. It's all about the commitment to the game, I appreciate them because they just do what I like to do, and that's jump off shit. So, I appreciate that from the fans.
I think you were inspired by them. Yes,
indeed.
Brody says contested catches and yards after the catch. There's no one better than AB. I would say, there's a reason why his name is Mr. Toe Tap. He's probably, you could say he might be the best ever in toe taps.
In the toe tap game, I would say
he's up there.
He's up there. He's definitely up there.
Yeah, he's definitely in the conversation. Contested catches, man. Part of that was Big Ben's accuracy on those deep balls, because as much as we've been hating on Big Ben has always had a beautiful deep ball, and he's probably one of the best deep ball throwers of all time. But Antonio Brown just finds a way to maneuver his body, and make a catch that just doesn't seem to be possible for a guy at his stature, but definitely great in that area. And after the catch, I don't think is as great as he used to be. I mean, he used to be like one cut and almost like OBJ sort of, whereas like one cut and gone. But like now it's not quite the same, but he still has that quickness. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, but like, you remember like the last game of the year, I guess, that he played, like the Saints. I'm just watching that game like, God damn, this guy is the best in the game. Like, I just feel like that's a stamp on it.
Yeah, there are games where he completely takes it over, man. I remember that game where I ranted against remember the game against the Packers?
Yeah, you mean like this
last year?
Okay. Yeah.
We did a recap, and I ranted because the Packers didn't double team him on every play.
Yes. Yeah.
So what does that say about him?
That he's too damn good. He's too damn.
There's just games you'll watch, and he'll just take over the game. He's just uncoverable, and it's just like, geez, I don't know what to say about this. And Brown, and it wasn't like, okay, they're gonna go somewhere else ever. No, every third down, Ben's going to Brown every time he needs it. And now Josh Allen's going to Brown. I think.
If he doesn't run it.
If he doesn't run it.
Yeah. Are we sure? Is the sources confirmed?
No, not yet. Jay's got to hit me up with the source, bro. What else we got here? Robot Guy is shocked, but I can't repeat what he said. So you can assume what he said. Alex says Bills are also going hard after Paredes and a bunch of other linemen. They're revamping their offense. Not a great offensive line free agency. Like Paredes is good. There's a couple good tackles out there, but definitely not as strong as it's been in the past. Like there's been some really good offensive line groups in the past couple of years for free agency. Not this year. The free agency is absolutely loaded on defense, though.
Yep.
I know the Bills don't really need the defense. The Steelers could use some defensive players, though.
True.
I think they could potentially go out there and maybe try and steal a guy like CJ Mosley away.
Which would be nice. That would be a good pickup.
Yeah, they could definitely use one of those safeties.
Yeah. Now you think about
one of those 100 safeties that are out there.
The record amount of safeties you get. Oh my god! I mean, you could be blindfolded and pick one. You'd still be good.
People are asking about DK Metcalf and if the Bills should pick him.
Why? I mean, yes, like he's talented enough to do so, but like I don't see that as the number one priority. I don't think you're spending a first round pick on him because he's going after that. He's not going to go after in the second round.
Bro, I don't think it's worth it for the Bills.
No.
Like they just traded for Brown.
Like some other teams would be fine with it. I'm cool with like other teams picking them, but I don't see why the Browns.
Yeah. I would rather them pick like a guy in like the second or the third round. Let's say the third round, and or pick up a free agent, like a lower tier free agent. Because you're really looking at. I don't think Zay Jones is bad.
No,
I don't think he's good. And they have that other kid. Who's that guy? Foster? Foster's his name, right?
I think, I can't remember off the top of my head here, but
yeah, he's a good deep threat. So I mean, they have. I know that their receiver depth chart has been relatively weak, like pretty weak. It was one of the worst last year, if not the worst. But like they have the thing about the Bills has always been they haven't had a number one. They've always had a bunch of number twos and a bunch of number threes. But when you have a number one, like we talked about earlier, the number twos and threes look better and they look like they're in their role.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. And I don't see them doing it personally to answer the full question.
It's like, okay, let's actually ask this to you, Dylan, because you were in a similar situation.
Okay.
We last year, I think I ranked the Cowboys and the Bills as the two worst receiving cores in the league.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes.
Once you guys got Amari Cooper, and Amari Cooper is great, but he's not Antonio Brown. How did you see that affect the Cowboys' other receivers?
Other receivers, I think it actually hurt them in a way. I feel like this is kind of the reason why Cole Beasley's so upset with his deal, is that his number of targets went down drastically. Like if you remember that Jaguars game where he went off like crazy and he was the number one focus of that game. And then as soon as he was implemented, like after the Titans game, it was like, well, Cole Beasley's not getting as many third down catches as I'm expecting him to, or he's not becoming that big productive threat. I think it helped the other guys get more production, if you will. Like I feel like they were more cohesive, but I don't think it like helped them in terms of the stat line, or it helped them in terms of how they feel individually. I think it just helped them more as a team thing, if that makes more sense. So like Cole Beasley, I think is kind of upset because he just didn't have that production as an individual. But I think it obviously helped out the team a lot more ways than one. So that's how I'd answer that question.
I think a good name that some people threw out here is Devin Funchess, because he does have the ties with Sean McDermott.
I would actually like that. Devin Funchess is the number one receiver in Carolina, always irked me. But if he's not going to be the number one like he would be in Buffalo, he'd be the number two guy. I'd definitely sign up for that. I would be a fan of that.
Everybody wants to know if Mr. Big Chest is really in Buffalo.
I haven't gotten this update yet. And to be fair, it is late. but Shefty works all hours of the night.
Bro, Shefty doesn't sleep.
He does not sleep. He gets his alarm ready. It's like him and Woj, bro. Well, we're figuring it out. We're trying to figure it out.
Thank you, Bodo. We appreciate you, brother. If you any of you other guys want to donate like Bodo, I mean, follow his lead. Press that money button at the bottom. It's the big button there. It says show your support for the Bottom Line View. Press that. Donate to the channel. But again, guys, for you new subscribers, which I notice a lot of new people in here. If you're not already subscribed, because I don't know all the new people who are in this chat, subscribe to the Bottom Line View. We do NFL only, NFL all the time, NFL reactions. If you're into these reaction videos and into the live chat sort of setting, that's all we're going to be doing for basically the month of March, man, because
get ready.
Free agency is the month of March. So this is going to be just constant reactions of OBJ got traded to the Browns and, where all these Earl Thomas signs and blah, 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 blah. So we're going to talk about all that stuff. Who said it's fake news? Some people are saying it's fake news.
Fake news.
Are they just saying that because Antonio Brown said that?
That's what he put on Twitter or Instagram, like that caption.
Unchained said, so how is Buffalo going to manage him and still develop Josh Allen? Because I think that those two at their stages in their career don't match. One wants to win while the other needs to. Thoughts?
Well, I wouldn't say that one quarterback doesn't want to win. I feel like they always want to win. I could see where the comparison is made here. But if the goal of
I think
the
what he's
Bills,
trying to say is that Buffalo is still trying to develop Allen, and Allen still knows he needs to develop, while Antonio Brown doesn't want to be in a place where he has a quarterback that's developing.
Well, I mean, there's been drastic ways to fix that. Like Jared Goff got that offense, in his second year, technically his second year in the league. And, he's still developing as a quarterback. He's still developing after his third year. You know what I'm saying? I feel like if the right situation is put there and the right coaching is involved, especially with McDermott, I feel like it's going to be fine. I don't know. Like you said, they're fighting for a wild card right now. It just continues to build over, the next 2 or 3 seasons. It depends on what production we get out of here. I understand where he's coming from. He needs to win now and not later down the road. But it's not like this team's going to go 4-12 again if AB's on this team. I just don't see that happening.
Predator, if you don't know me by now, I cut Dilly off whenever I choose to cut him off.
Hey, he does it about 80% of the time. But
I do it often. But that's just because that's just because I'm the host. Bradley says, not Bradley. JR sent me a tweet from Bradley Gelber, who I believe is a Buffalo Bills beat writer. And he basically posted Isaiah McKenzie, who's a receiver for the Bills, posted a false alarm Instagram post that the trade is not real. But then Isaiah McKenzie deleted his story. So
that's whack.
You know what's funny is that everybody at Buffalo is like super excited and they're like, no, it's real. And like everybody in Pittsburgh is like,
nah, this shit ain't right.
Everybody in Pittsburgh is like, you know what? I kind of like him going to Buffalo, but what are we getting?
Oh, I mean, to be fair, you got to agree with that. You got to know what you got there. You there?
Yeah, I'm reading the comments.
Okay. I was just making sure.
Ian Rappaport, NFL Insider, confirmed AB in real talks and headed to the Bills. Oh, it's not fake. Yeah, guys, like it wasn't a fake source.
I haven't got the tweet yet. I don't get his notifications.
Bro, you're slacking. Deli Bird said Zay Jones made huge strides last year. Robert Foster looked impressive as the year went on. Adding Brown should create a ton of space for them and give Allen a true number one. - a Bills fan. kind of thought that you were a Bills fan based off the way you were talking.
Bills.
But that's kind of what we said. So that actually is exactly what I said. But
okay, so the tweet 5 minutes ago from Rappaport says there are things to work out, but the deal is close to being done. Close. It's close.
Bro, I don't know if I can stay on that long.
Well, we're not going to do that.
Bro, I really need to understand how to say your name. You know who I'm talking about, right, Dylan?
Not off the top of my head.
Azad?
Aziz? Is that the one?
Azad? Is that it?
It has to be Aziz. I think it's Aziz.
Aziz? There's no E in there.
But I know, but like when things get pronounced weird, I don't know.
He says, "Here's a funny fact." I know him. Like he's always comments. I always comment back.
On. Yeah.
But I don't know his name. Here's a funny fact. Jordan Poyer, the Bills safety, has beef with AB as Poyer's wife cheated on him with AB.
Oh,
really? Why would they trade for him then? So are they going to trade Poyer then? Poyer's good.
They have to not know this information. Otherwise, then they...
Bro, this is fake
That's
news.
interesting.
That's not real.
If it is real, I'm laughing. He's
like,
gotta go.
Literally in
Somebody's
the NHL, like, guys get traded for doing that. I know the NFL's a different animal, but, like, in the NHL, if one guy, like, sleeps with another guy's wife or girlfriend, the guy gets traded.
Dude, didn't fucking Tony Parker do that in the NBA? Like
pretty sure he did.
No, it wasn't with the same. I think wasn't that with a different. Was it with his teammate? I can't remember. It was either that or
it's happened
whatever,
in the NBA.
But he definitely did it. Yeah, but he didn't get traded. I don't know. It's a pretty scummy thing to do. I'm still going with
Hey, bro.
Wait, what happened?
Azad, bro.
Azad. We'll go with that. We got you now. We won't mess it up again. I promise.
He's going to retire at halftime.
He's taking the route. So just remember what Vontae Davis said last year. All right.
Tre'Davious just tweeted, "Business is booming."
Business is booming.
I
know this has nothing to do with AB, but did you get this update from David Irving?
What was it?
David Irving quits the NFL.
He just quit.
He just quit.
What's he gonna do?
He said the NFL is not football.
What?
Yes, he is mad that he's getting suspended. He's getting suspended for a third time. He's mad. Follow Greg Hardy. I don't care. He can fuck off for all I care.
Greg Hardy has the rage, though. That's why he's a good fighter.
Yes, because illegally kneeing a guy in the face.
He's insane. Bro, it's pretty impressive. I know this is the whole AC argument already. I want to hear what people have to say about the AC argument. But before we do, the same argument that can be made about Greg Hardy. Okay, Greg Hardy, this is his second sport. He picks up MMA and beats kids for a living and then makes it to the UFC. Like, he legitimately made it to the UFC. He was undefeated. Like, he didn't CM Punk his way to the UFC. He actually won fights and then made it to the UFC. He's a legitimate, actual fighter, but that's because he's actually literally insane. Like, that's the only reason he's good at fighting. Yeah, he's crazy. Okay, I need to hear what people have to say about this. Dylan, explain what happened with Tony Romo and AC in the chat.
Okay, so we were in this discussion. Was it last night? It was last night. And Mitch posted a thing about how Tony Romo is going to be in the PGA Tour event, and AC just goes off. He's like, man, this isn't even worth it. These guys, the top 50 players are not even going to play in this event, and Romo's not even worth it. He's a bum. And then Mitch's response is, well, this is his second sport. It's not even like he's the number one sport is golf. So it's pretty impressive that he's still doing this thing. And it was a whole back and forth and a whole lot of bullshit. So, what do you want to get? What do you want to say to the fans? Like, what do you? I mean, it was a really dumb back. I'm not.
That's
between you.
impressive.
It is impressive.
It's not impressive to be so good at golf, even though it's your second sport with a freaking hurt back that you can play with pros. It's not impressive.
According to AC.
According to AC, it's not impressive.
But bro, we're not golf majors. We don't know. We don't follow the game. Like
I'm sorry, I don't play golf.
So you know what I'm saying?
Like
I mean,
that.
I got. Hold on. Which one is this? Which golf club is this?
You have
Hold on,
golf clubs in your closet?
Yeah, I don't have any other place to put them in my
What
apartment.
else do you have
Dude, I got
in
everything.
your closet?
I got every utensil you could ever ask for. I got a driver over here. I got all my golf clubs.
Okay, put back the driver. We're trying to talk about the Steelers and the Bills here.
All right, I got my putter. Don't worry about it. So yeah. But also like going back to Greg Hardy. I feel like Dana White's a terrible promoter. He just put him on that UFC fight show on ESPN because he wanted ratings, and then he legally beat somebody up. That shit was ridiculous. But it's Greg Hardy, so you know he's still a piece of shit. That being said, we're talking about AB and the Steelers and the Bills, I guess.
Ozark just unsubscribed because you're a driver, bro.
I didn't even show my driver.
He was not impressed.
I didn't even show the driver. This is a putter. All right.
Ozark just unsubscribed because of that, man.
Bro.
I don't know what to tell you.
You want a driver, eh?
You're the reason why Ozark unsubscribed. Okay, let's get back to these questions here. How do you guys think Juju will do next season? I think on one hand, Juju is going to be the number one receiver, no doubt about it. All the targets in the world. He's not going to have to share it with AB. On the other hand, he is going to be double teamed. He's going to have the best corner on him, and it's going to be a more difficult time for him. But I think there's somewhere in the middle. I actually think Juju is going to end up having about the same season that he had this past season.
Yep.
I think so. When looking at his statistics, let's look at it.
Yeah, I was about to say, pull up the statistics for me. I'll give you
the teams. All right.
I'll give you the goals.
111 receptions, 1,426 yards, and 7 touchdowns. I would say his touchdowns go up, his receptions go down, his yards, I would say, would stay around that total, maybe a little less. I would say touchdowns go up, but the amount of catches go down. I know that kind of sounds counterproductive because, like, you would think his receptions would go up, but I think because he's going to be double teamed, because he's going to have number one corners, he's not going to be open as much and not going to have those easy advantages. So he's not going to get as many catches, but I think touchdowns will go up because Ben will look for him in that area of the field.
How many yards did he have?
1,400.
Yeah. Okay, that's quite a bit. I'm going to say that the thing is receptions is that when Juju was not the number one guy and AB was when Juju was not the number two and AB was the definitive number one with no clear number two, he had so many damn targets. Even if he was getting double team, I know it's AB versus Juju in terms of talent, but Big Ben will throw to the number one guy, no doubt about it, especially with no clear cut number two. I'm gonna say he'll go just a little bit down. I'll actually put my numbers in here if you guys want to know. I'll go 110 catches. I'll go for let's go 1,350 on yards, and I'll go with 11 touchdowns. So he's gonna go just a little bit under on his yards and catches, but he's gonna get more touchdowns. So I'll agree with you on that.
All right, fair enough. Ozark says he loves golf. Ozark, yeah. We like golf too, but I was just trying to say that Tony Romo playing professional golf, even though that's his second sport, is impressive. I wonder what you think about that, Ozark. You're a guy that is a big golf guy. Let me know.
And it's also a comment that started at like a 3. Like, you know, you just wanted to gauge your response, and then AC took it to the next level. I don't understand, but yeah.
Black and Gold said controversial statement. James Washington is the next Antonio Brown.
So let's not go there too far.
He's the next top 10 receiver of all time.
Let's not go that far. I like him, but no.
Liam said, as a Bills fan, this is his most bittersweet moment of his life. Why is it bitter?
Why would it just be sweet,
Yeah,
exciting?
kind of
Because
confused
honestly,
by that.
I would agree. I would agree if it was the sweet moment. Because there has been a lot of great Bills moments in the last 20
I
years.
mean,
I don't know
making
how old he
that
is.
playoff game against the Jaguars, man, that was just
That was
fantastic.
rough. That was fucking no. Knowing you got in the playoffs was great. A week later was a different story. That was terrible. No,
I
I'm
say we
sorry,
stay
Bills
on
fans.
until 1 Eastern time. And if
Okay, I was
nothing
about
has
to say
happened, which I guarantee you, as soon as we go off,
it's gonna be up.
it's
Yeah,
going to go up. I guarantee you.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, we talked about the trade basically as much as we can. If you guys have
Pretty
any
much.
more questions that we can answer, leave those questions, man. If you haven't already hit the like button, hit the like button.
Yes. I'll do a little cheap plug. Fill in a couple of seconds here. Tomorrow, new video coming out. This one I've been working on for a couple of days now. Finished filming tonight or today. Can I beat Rich Eisen in a 40-yard dash? This is something I've just wanted to test for a while. I don't know what Mitch said over there, but I feel like he's sneak hating over there. So you're gonna find out. We have a bet going on, okay? So maybe he's a little bit into this. But can I beat?
You could have totally rigged it though.
I didn't rig it.
You could have been like, you could have just taken your stopwatch in your hand and just waited till 5 point whatever and just stopped it.
I didn't stop the time myself. I had other people doing it.
Predator just wants to know why you're in a closet.
Because the lights are out in my room, and I didn't have time to go change it. Like it just went out 2 hours ago, so I couldn't go to the store. So,
Rob, I already did a video on that. If you haven't checked our Case Keenum video out already, guys, go check that out. If you're interested in my thoughts on Case Keenum going to Washington, check that video out. It's already up on the channel.
My reaction, because I wasn't able to get on that, is he's serviceable until they find somebody new. But the Redskins are still a mess. So, they got more problems to fix.
Should the Patriots acquire Rosen to back up Brady? Interesting you bring that up. Check out a video tomorrow and find out. Bodo says $10. He says $10. Romo will miss a fumble, a putt like he does holding for extra points. Thank you for the $10 and a great joke.
Nah, just thank you for the $10. I appreciate that.
Steel Curtain says, what do you guys think of the Steelers' new big three? Ben, Connor, Juju. Definitely not as talented as the former. It's okay.
Yeah.
Is it the best big three in the league?
If the Giants just had a fucking quarterback, it would outweigh them so much. Jesus Christ, it would outweigh everybody.
Let me go through the teams real quick.
Yeah, give me the teams here. That we'll have a discussion.
Better than the Patriots.
Brady, Sony Michel, and Edelman.
Yeah.
Is that your three?
That's close.
I don't really know the answer to that. It's close. It's close. I'll say the Steelers are better by like just a hair on that.
Fair enough. How about the Cowboys?
But again, the talent doesn't mean you're better in like the circumstance. Cowboys, Cowboys. Again, Zeke and Cooper. Oh, actually, no. Zeke is definitely better than Connor. Cooper is like right in the middle with Juju. Juju had way more production, but Cooper is is efficient with the Cowboys. But Big Ben is more experienced than Dak. So I guess you got to give it to the Steelers, but Cowboys are close.
Browns.
Baker, if they get Odell, yes. Right now, no.
They get Odell. Kansas City.
Damien, yeah, okay. The Chiefs are better even with a lower running back because you got Patrick Mahomes killing it, and Tyreek Hill is never going to get stopped.
That's kind of like a trick question, sort of.
He will, like honestly, you could just almost eliminate the running back from them entirely, and they'll still be fine.
I'll give you one for
scenario,
sure. Saints.
Okay. No question. No question.
I think Minnesota probably too.
I I just wish Kirk would show me more consistency. Like, come on. I hope he does. But yes, I'll agree with you.
What about the Rams?
What was that one? I didn't hear it.
The Rams.
Rams, Goff, Gurley, and Cooks. That one's tough. Gurley's obviously a lot better. Cooks, Juju's still better than Cook. I got to give it to the Steelers, but the Rams, like, it's weird because the Rams are more productive, but I feel like the Steelers are better, if that makes any sense. So talent wise, Steelers, production wise, Rams.
Atlanta.
If Devontae Freeman was healthy, I would pick the Falcons. Actually, we didn't see him for half a year. You know what I mean? Because Matt Ryan was a top 10 quarterback and Julio's a top 3 receiver when he's fully healthy. So I'll give it to the Falcons.
Chargers.
Yeah. That one's a tough one. You got about the same quarterback. You got Melvin Gordon, who's a better running back, and Keenan. I'll go Chargers. I'll go Chargers on that one.
All right. Charles wants to know, as he has the Browns logo, OBJ to Cleveland.
I will say this: if OBJ goes to Cleveland and has Baker right there with them,
Super Bowl, he's going to say it.
They're going to that. No, they're definitely winning their division. There's no doubt about it. Like, I will put my stamp of approval right now. They're the AFC North champions 2019. After that, I don't know because Baker hasn't had a playoff game and all that, and we still have to see the production. But no, they would win the AFC North. No question.
The most intrigue I have about the Browns is how do they deal with actually being a team that people think is going to be good. Like, that is something.
It is something.
It's something big. Different. Not a lot of people actually take that into account. Like, every time we think a team's actually going to be good, like, that's never good, it never works out.
Buccaneers. That's the first big example I can remember. We put them at like 12-4 2 seasons ago. And
Adam counters with OBJ to the Pats. Mr. Fun is taking my fun away by saying the 49ers are terrible. It's taking my fun away.
That's your burner team, bro. Oh, that's your burner quarterback, I should say.
That's my second team for next season. I usually have a second team.
He's gotten off the Chargers bandwagon. He's off the Chargers bandwagon. Now he's on the 49ers.
Dwayne says Pittsburgh. Local news just said the Bills are the front runner, but are listening to offers. Also, details won't be released until later today. Thank you for that.
Jeez. That actually helps, but that's annoying.
On that note, I think we're going to wrap it up.
24 hours? No, I'm kidding. Yes. We've answered a lot of questions, so that was
productive. We have. It's been fun. I'm looking forward to doing a lot of these over the next week. It's going to be lots of fun, especially if Odell gets traded.
If he gets traded, bro, I don't care if it's at work. I'll put it in.
I don't care. Honestly, I don't care where it is. Like, I think it'll be better.
Oh, no question.
Name a team that you think Odell could go to, and it would be worse.
What didn't we make this discussion where if we put Odell on a team where they wouldn't make the playoffs? And I think there was like 3. I feel like there's only like a couple.
The Giants were one of them.
I feel like there's only like 2 or 3 spots where he could actually only be worse. Oh God, like even a team like Oakland has draft picks so they can make their team better.
I would still say Oakland. I would say, okay. What I'm saying is, can you name a team that OBJ would be worse on?
Oh, for himself.
Yeah.
Like production wise. God, I'm really trying to think of one. I don't like, honestly, the first answer that comes to mind is hell no. But man, that's a tough one. Like, I'm trying to think of some of the worst teams and thinking, like, would they give him that production? Honestly, no. I don't think there could be possibly a worse team that gave him like has used him the worst in terms of offense. It's insane. And it's with 2 different coaches too. You'd think one of them would be smart enough, but no.
Yeah, I'm going through the teams here. The only one that really I think could be possible is the Broncos.
Yeah,
or the
because they've
Dolphins.
always oh god, Dirk can't. Well, the Broncos have always like the last 8 years or so have always had the two receiver
Then
philosophy.
again,
So like,
Flacco can throw it deep.
yeah, it's what won him that playoff game against
Eli
the Broncos.
can't.
No, Eli definitely can't. He'll have Odell wide open. You're like, oh, that's an easy touchdown, and then it's just thrown in like 15 yards short and it's an interception. You're like, oh my god, you're putting this on television for us to watch every week? Like seriously? I feel like honestly, the Dolphins could be the one team. The Dolphins could just find because they found a way to get Jarvis Landry like the worst yards per catch I've ever seen, and he's more talented than that. And that's a guy that isn't like nearly as talented as Odell. So.
All right. Thanks, guys, for joining us. If you haven't already, Gronk spike that like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.
Yep.
Peace out.
Peace.